guys, we got this question on YouTube, and the question is how do we fish currents, or how do we approach fishing them, and what kind of bait retrieve do we do when we're fishing currents? Well, first off, the big thing when you're fishing currents is you got to know where to fish them. You know, obviously, if you can see in here behind me, the current's going this way, flowing down creek. You know, we don't like to fish up here and cast it down. You know, you always want to be downstream of the current, or off to the sides, or coming in at an angle. And the reason is because if you're throwing, you know, a spinner bait, swim bait, something like that, and you're trying to fish, you know, bring the lure back against the current, a lot of times your lure's just going to spin. You're not going to get the right action that you need to, you know, bring the best presentation to the fish. You know, it's just going to spin. And obviously, if you're throwing like a tube or a crawl and you try to throw it, you know, going with the current, it's never going to hit the bottom. It's just going to stay on the top, and then you trying to, you know, work it, jig it, or whatever the case may be, it just ain't going to do nothing because the bait's just going to be right on the top. So the best thing to do is what we like to do. Our favorite technique when it comes to current is what we call drifting. And if all we do is, if, you know, with the current going down like this, you know, you just pitch it upstream of the current, and then just let the current bring your lure down. And we've caught a lot of fish doing that, and realistically, you're not even doing a retrieve. You just let the current take your lure with it. You know, and obviously the best for that is going to be a crawl, something like that. If you're going to be working a spinner bait, I recommend coming in at it as an angle and casting on the other side of the current and bringing it back through the current at an angle, you know. And honestly, you know, with spinner baits, a lot of times that won't work still because the current will be going too much in order to get the right presentation. So the other option is to be directly down from it. Now with that, I would definitely recommend using a spinner bait or something that you're going to be moving, because if you throw a crawl out there and you're trying to jig it, you're going to have way too much slack to where the current's bringing your line back to you, and you won't be able to, you know, get the right presentation that you need. But definitely never fish it, you know, never fish bringing your lure against the current, and always try to either be down, but your best option is be at an angle of it and fish off to the side. And if you're going to fish a current and you want to bring your lure right through the current, definitely hit it at an angle, and especially with some sort of swim bait or something like that, and a jig. But try the drifting first, because that's our #1 go-to, and that's normally when we catch the big ones, is just letting it drift down. So I hope that answered your question, you know, and happy fishing.
Guys, as you can see on the video, you know, we're talking about tubes today. Now I'm going to show you guys how we rig them up. Now keep in mind when you do this, you know, your hook size